Hey y'all, it's Alec and Cindy from Sharing Our Journey, and we're on the way to Bozeman today and thought we would give you a quick update. As you can see, the weather is terrible. It's raining. Like I said in my last weight loss video, that we've had just terrible. So thought we would talk to you on the way up to Bozeman, and y'all hadn't seen Cindy for a while in the videos, so I thought we would do this video together.
And he sprung it on me like he does most everything.
Right. So what we want to talk about is, it's been like 3 years since our YouTube channel has been active. I just reactivated it last month. Started watching a guy, Sarasota Tim, on the on YouTube, and I found out I didn't need all the fancy camera work and all the fancy editing to make informative videos. So what we're going to talk about is what's changed in our life from the 3 years ago when we did our Lakeview Fall update to now. And basically what changed was COVID. COVID totally changed the way that we camp, the way we work camp. So quick synopsis of COVID. We were working for Southeast Publications. We were in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Actually at the yearly convention. Where was that in?
Sevierville.
In Sevierville. And COVID hit. And the company said, I think we're going to be okay. It's just, 2 weeks to change the curve, and that everything should be okay. Well, as we're leaving Sevierville, I call the next campground, because Southeast Publications, they do the campground maps. So when you go to campgrounds and you check in, and they give you a map of the park, and then there's all those ads inside, like restaurants and RV services and that sort of stuff. So we would do those. Cindy would update the guides from the camper. She would make all the changes to the park and put together all the ad information, and I would go out during the week and sell ads. Great company, huge opportunities if you like to move fast. So I called the next job, which was in Virginia, and said, hey, we're leaving, we'll be there tomorrow to get set up, make sure you had our spot, because we got 2 weeks free camping wherever we went. And they go, I'm sorry, the governor has shut down, well, I think it was a state park, has shut down the state park, and you're not going to be able to come in. And we're going like, oh crap, what do we do? So
thank goodness graciously,
yeah, we had
a couple that we worked with at Southeast Publications that we actually met at the conference said, we've got a place where y'all can park for a week or so while we see what this is going to do, or how this is going to go or affect the company, and y'all can stay there for free.
Just pay us for the electricity.
Yep, just pay us for the electricity, and then we can all regroup and head off to our next jobs.
So luckily that was less than an hour away. We drove there, very nice little RV portal. It had a little interior kitchen, and it had a shower and a little family room where you could watch TV and then sleep in your camper. And they actually had 2 hookups there, one in the garage and one in the yard. So we went there to start regrouping. So our second day there, I called our next job to see if we could come in early, the one after the one that was closed. And it was maybe a 2 days drive from where we were. And they said, nope, we're closed indefinitely, we don't know. So I called the next job, and the next job, and the next job, trying to see if anybody was open so we could A, go make some money, and B, have a place to go, because we only had a week at our friend's place before they were coming and their father were coming to use both spots of the RV portal, and nothing.
So another couple that we knew that worked with Southeast Publications called us and said, you know what, we don't know when these places are going to open back up. We don't know when the restaurants and businesses are going to be open. They said, we just went and got a work camping job. We figure we'll do it for the interim and then figure out what we want to do. So
Yes.
we followed suit because we needed to work, we needed a job. So we applied, got a work camping job right off the bat.
Well, first of all, we decided that a lot of these states were having, if you drove through Louisiana,
that's right.
you had to stay quarantined for 14 days before you could do anything. And we didn't want to do that. So we
and if you went to a state that your license tags said you were from another state, you'd get all these questions. Why are you here? Why are you coming through the state? We had met several people who were being questioned. We didn't want to go through all that. So our tags on our coach and our vehicles say that we're from Texas.
which is what we use is
as our domicile. So we decided to head back to Texas so we didn't have to put up with all the questions.
And we drove like 400 miles out of our way to skip Louisiana because Louisiana was a hot zone. Mississippi was a hot zone for COVID, and if you went through there, you had to quarantine. So we found a job in Texas actually in one day. Yeah. And they said that because of COVID, they had lost a bunch of their employees. Everybody was rushing to get back home. So it was a beautiful campground. It was on the Gulf Coast. We could actually open the front screen on our motorhome and see the Gulf of Mexico. So that was our first experience with work camping. As y'all know, COVID drug on and on and on. Matter of fact, yesterday at the campground we're working here in Yellowstone, we saw a family, I want to say they were from Missouri. They're still wearing their mask. So you do you, I'll do me, I'm not wearing a mask. So we decided after that gig was up, we better stay in Texas. And so we found up at Lake Burnett, Big Chief RV Park, which they've sold and changed their name now. We went to Big Chief. And
gorgeous
campground on Lake Buchanan. We met some great friends from Lampasas and other areas around the area. And you know what we find out about work camping? We found out that we really liked it, didn't we?
We really liked it. We liked the slower pace. We liked being in an area for more than 2 weeks. We liked getting to know the history of the area and just really explore, hike. We really like it.
So then we had to figure out our niche in work camping. We found out that we did not. We took a one job in South Carolina where we originally were housekeepers. And we found out we didn't like being housekeepers because you had to get up early. You had to go get up and close and personal to everybody's dirt. It's not like being outside. And it was monotonous. It was the same thing. Putting sheets on beds.
We've cleaned bathrooms. We've cleaned cabins. You've cleaned fire pits.
Yeah.
Pick up people's trash. You name it, we've pretty much done it in one form or another.
But we've met people that love housekeeping. We've met people who love the day-to-day maintenance, the cutting the grass. I don't mind the cutting grass. I found that my favorite job in campgrounds is being the evening or nighttime host, where I take people to their sites, I deliver firewood, I interact. I am very talkative. I've never met a stranger.
Oh, really?
And
talkative?
Yeah, and so that's what I prefer. We do take jobs, like our next job, I'm outside maintenance. They don't really do a lot of escorting. And so I'll be cutting grass and cleaning fire pits, which is fine with me. I don't mind that, and it will go good with my weight loss journey because I'll be more active. And Cindy, what do you like doing?
I enjoy being outside too. I enjoy doing, getting the sites ready for people to come in, making sure they're clean and tidy, because we all know as campers we like to pull up at a site and there not be trash in the fire pit and the picnic table filthy. I don't mind doing that kind of work either, but I have been put into the office now where I greet people, check them in, make reservations, answer the phones, check merchandise in, merchandise the stores, restock. I like doing all of that too. I just know that housekeeping and cleaning cabins is not my niche.
Yeah.
Some people are good at it, and it takes me way too long to clean a cabin.
So it wouldn't be an update video if we don't tell you where all we've been. So like I said, we started on the Gulf of Mexico in Port Lavaca, Texas. Beautiful area. I will say that the Gulf on the west side of the Mississippi is muddier water or darker water, and the beaches have a little bit more trash on them than if you're on the east side of the Mississippi. And we went from there. We love water and we love mountains. You can talk about right there. Montana, baby. So
we love Montana. This is
our third time. So we left Port Lavaca and we went to Burnet, Texas, at Lake Buchanan at Big Chief RV Park. Wonderful park. We've got people who came and stayed for weeks at a time at the park we became friends with that we still talk to. There's a work camper couple, Dennis and Dottie, that have been there in their late 70s, early 80s now. They just got off the road for health reasons, but you know, they worked camp for 20 years. We still keep in contact with them. So where'd we go from Texas?
Well, we went back to South Carolina to see the children.
Right, so we
worked at a great campground there.
Point South KOA in Yamasee, South Carolina, Beaufort County. It's about a 45-minute drive to Hilton Head. My parents at the time lived in Savannah. My sister lived in Bluffton. Our kids were all still in Columbia at the time. So we spent like 7 months there, and spent all the time in the world at the beach. We go up to Columbia and see the kids. Just was a great area. It was an area we were familiar with. And then
we left there. We went to
Montana. Yeah.
We worked at Flathead Lake in Polson.
And we were there for 3 or 4 months. And boy, I tell you,
gorgeous views of Flathead Lake.
Flathead Lake, you need to look up Flathead Lake. It's beautiful. One thing that was disappointing was the temperature of the water. Cindy thought she was going to get her paddleboard out and do a lot of paddleboarding. We went down to the lake and stuck our little toe in, and no paddleboarding for Cindy.
There were a lot of people who were out there doing it. There were a lot of people skiing and swimming and all kinds of stuff, but you could tell I'm a southern girl. That water was too cold.
So then we got an opportunity to go work 4 miles outside of the gate of Glacier National Park, which was on our bucket list. So we left Polson and we went to Columbia Falls RV Park. If you are going to Glacier, that park is beautiful. It's a small, quaint 76 site, I think it is. They don't have a swimming pool, but you're there to see Glacier. The park is immaculate. When we were there, it was kept unbelievable. And there I did outside grounds. I did escorting. Cindy worked in the store. And
yep. And the town is the cutest town. It's within walking distance to go out to eat.
What was that bar we like to go eat at? Gunslingers.
Yes.
Go to Gunslingers if you're there. Get yourself a burger. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Well, then we left. We finished our season, trying to beat the snow, getting out of there, and when we found a job in California. I'm not a big California person, but I've never seen sea lions. I've never seen the humpback whales. So we got a job at Santa Cruz KOA, which was 1 block from the beach. Well, it was really across the street, but because of the way the housing was, you had to go a block to get to it. You could walk to the beach from the campground. The sea lions were everywhere. You'd walk out on the beach, sea lions laying there. You go into the town of Santa Cruz, go to the boardwalk, they're all over the place. It's unbelievable. If you haven't seen sea lions in person, that's a must go to. However, the regulations, rules, and trash in California was disgusting. When we would go into Costco, we'd have to get on not Highway 1, but the one. We would have to get on the one and go into town. Every exit, every turnoff, homeless camps. You pull into town, you go to Costco, the roads were lined with derelict campers, tent cities. It was awful. Go on the beach, you had to wear shoes because there were needles there. The beaches were beautiful, but I just could not handle all the filth of the streets, all the trash everywhere, the homeless everywhere.
Okay, enough negativity.
Right, so we finished our time in Santa Cruz, California, one and done. We would like to go back. There's some things on our bucket list, but we don't want to go there for the length of time that we would work.
But we did get to go whale watching. We did go to Pinnacles.
Oh, that's right. We went to Pinnacles National twice.
Which was
both
gorgeous.
Entrances.
And we found out, we learned a lot about the area. We went to Big Sur.
Yeah.
Saw that.
Gas is very expensive at Big Sur, so don't be
Fill
me.
up before
Fill
you
up
get
before
there.
you go.
And it was so cool just to see the climate there. How they would just have animals grazing oceanside view.
Yeah,
We're from South Carolina. Every piece of property on the beach, on the ocean is developed. There are condos, hotels, everything. Not in California. You will find farmland. You will find cows grazing with an oceanside view.
So we did that, and then while we were there, we got an opportunity with some people that we worked with at another campground. We were asked if we wanted to come to Minnesota and be assistant managers, and we did that. We left California in February. We did leave the job early, not because of anything to do with California or the park or the management, but because of the opportunity. We sat down with the manager, explained. He had no problem with us leaving, so we left and went to Minnesota in February. Don't go to Minnesota in February.
Exactly.
Just getting there was 10 days of driving hell. Roads kept getting shut down. We had to pass the continental, we had to go over the Continental Divide, the Rockies, 2 separate times. And where we started out on 40, we ended up at 70, then we ended up at 80 and crossed on Highway 80. We got stuck in a Walmart parking lot because of all the snow. That's all I'm going to say about that. So don't try to do it in the winter. But we were there for 18 months, met some wonderful people. Some of the seasonals there are wonderful. Some of the work campers we worked with, most of the work campers were there, were wonderful. The owner, great guy, gave us an opportunity of a lifetime, but we found out that to manage a park, you have to immerse yourself.
Or even assistant manage a park.
To assistant, you still have to immerse yourself in the park. We were there for 18 months. We only did 2 adventures. We went to Mall of America down in the cities, which is Minneapolis, and we did the headwaters of the Mississippi at Itasca. You know, if you've never been to Lake Itasca and the headwaters of Mississippi, do not miss out. If you're in the area, you need to go see that.
We
Well,
didn't get to explore there like we really would have liked to have
if
done.
we were just work campers. So the end of the winter, our second winter there, -20, we learned a lot about how to RV in the cold. We decided it would be best for us if we moved on. So we got this job in Yellowstone, and Yellowstone is unbelievable. It's the first national park in the park system. And is there much to do here, Cindy?
We are not going to be able to explore it all in one year. I don't know how people come for 3 or 4 days and think they're going to see everything there is to see. I guess they just hit the highlights. But if you are coming to Yellowstone, you need to, I would say, in my personal opinion, at least spend a week.
Yes,
here.
At least a week. We've been in the park, we've been here, 8 weeks? We've been in the park 5 times in Yellowstone, and we've driven over to Idaho, through Idaho, and gone to the Tetons twice.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get to see it all. So we've been asked to come back next summer,
and this is a fast-paced area.
Yeah, we have 100 check-ins every day. 100.
So if you don't do well with fast pace, if you don't work camp here, you will just frustrate yourself. California got me into that fast pace because they were swamped all the time. But here, like Alex said, we have 100 or more check-ins every single night, not just on weekends. This is not a weekend park. But there's lots of other different opportunities we found out here. We found out that a lot of these shops in town and restaurants hire waitresses, hire cashiers for their store.
Yeah, we met a couple from Virginia at the Fudge Shop, and this is their first work camping gig, and they went to workcampers.com, found this job. They pay for them to live on the ranch down the road from us that has some RV spots. And
they get paid for every hour they work.
Yeah, they get paid for every hour they work, and they're working in the Fudge Shop. Then we have some friends we didn't even know were here until we started coming. Peggy and Fred, they work actually in the park, and they got, what's the name of the company?
Oh my gosh.
Delaware East, Delaware West.
I'm not sure. But you'll see them advertise for Yellowstone and Glacier and things like that. The national park system.
And that's a slower paced job.
Yeah, and they hire people to work in the shops. They hire
people to host the campgrounds.
Peggy's husband, Fred, he is a journeyman electrician. So he does a lot of electrical work and stuff at the park. There's just a wide variety of types of jobs that you can get while work camping.
So that's what we've been doing for the last 3 years. About what's coming up, we've been hired at Rockport KOA down back on the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to be close to Cindy's sister in Kerrville and in Texas. So we're actually going to do Thanksgiving and Christmas with family on Cindy's side, and so we're excited about that. And then the manager here has offered for us to come back to Yellowstone. So we're going to do next summer in Yellowstone. Cindy's going to be the lead on the front desk on evening shift in the store at Westgate, and I'm going to be the lead host outside at Westgate. Right now I'm between 2 campgrounds. So anyway, if you have any questions about work camping, put them in the comments and I'll try to help you as the best I can. Now you're up to date. 3 years done in 25 minutes. Y'all be safe out there. Happy camping, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.